think you're just asking for trouble basically. But again, it is really like very cheap to do swiping. It's like a very low value task that can just be outsourced so easily. But that's not where the difficulty is in running Instagram. It's really in getting the accounts to come active. And regarding like why do we do so many accounts per model is another question that I get asked quite frequently. We do them to position them throughout the US. So we will try to cover like all of the major states within the US, and even sometimes we'll go as far as not covering states. We will actually sort by city, by the population size of the city. You're going to see much, much better results if you are targeting larger cities. We see like a much higher like match rate. So that will be like, we will basically work down cities by population, starting off in the US. We will also cover some of Europe, like for example, we will cover London, Liverpool, Manchester as well, maybe Brighton and Essex as well, which are some like sort of major locations within the UK, as well as some like major cities throughout Europe. Paris, Berlin are pretty good ones. And then we'll set up a couple of accounts across Canada and a few across Australia as well. So covering, I'm not sure what you want to call them, like tier 1 countries. And the reason for that is generally you have a higher chance that these guys have spare money to be able to spend on OnlyFans girls. Regarding, and then the other like most common question that I get is, what is the return on investment from Tinder? And this is, it's a funny question to ask. It's the return on investment is going to vary massively depending on a number of different factors, and a few, just to list off a few of them, it is going to be, how does your model look? How big is her Instagram account? Like how much social proof is on that Instagram account? How much social proof is on the OnlyFans account? How many likes does she have? How many posts does she have? How many videos does she have? Because those metrics are all publicly available. So before someone is choosing to make a subscription to an OnlyFans account, they want to know how much content am I going to get access to? And then the biggest determining factor of what type of return on investment you're going to see is based off of your upsell strategy. So in our like Telegram group today as well, I gave away like our like top performing template. I made some slight adjustments to it because I didn't want hundreds of agencies to be using like the exact same template, because we would get caught out for using exactly the same upsell strategy. But this template has been used to sell like well over $1 million on OnlyFans. And so we put that on there. And if someone is using a good upsell strategy like that has been like thoroughly tested, they're going to see a much higher return on investment. For example, that sexting script would extract about $320, I believe it is, out of a subscriber. So if you have a high converting upsell script and we just push like a couple of subscribers there that go through that upsell sequence, you're seeing like a 10x return on investment. Whereas if you're pushing to like another OnlyFans profile that hasn't got a good like upsell strategy in place, of course, it's just not even going to come close. Like you'll perhaps double your money off of like subscriptions or something, but that's not where like the real money is made. On OnlyFans, all of the money is made within the inbox in the upsell strategy. Yeah, and of course, like it's asked like comparing one e-commerce store to another. As much as people often think like one OnlyFans account is the same as the other, conversion rates vary drastically between one OnlyFans account and another. It's like you asking it, if we push like 1,000 visitors to one e-commerce store and then 1,000 visitors to another e-commerce store, there are so many different variables in play. What are they actually selling? They're both selling different products. What is the girl actually open to doing? How much custom requests is she willing to fulfill? What is the pricing structure? How many posts does she actually have? It's going to have a massive impact on the conversion rate. So I think people often just look over these quite important factors within, just asking for like an exact number. And it's really quite hard to give because there's going to be like so many different variables in play. The only like kind of thing to say is that Tinder is going to drive much lower volumes of traffic compared to like some of the other like marketing channels such as like Instagram, TikTok and Reddit, and like definitely much lower volumes than Twitter. However, the quality is much, much higher, which is what I really love about Tinder traffic. Because on all of the other platforms, it's a bit harder to do like location targeting, but in Tinder we can literally just modify the GPS location on the mobile device and we can position ourselves to be in New York, to be in San Francisco, to be in in LA or like wherever we want, and we're instantly putting ourselves in front of an audience of people that have money. So that makes for a much higher quality audience. But just in general as well, I do think that the traffic that comes from Tinder is just, it's much lower volume compared to these other platforms, but the conversion rate is so much higher, and the average order value that we're able to extract out of a Tinder customer compared to like pretty much any other platform, even compared to other dating sites as well.